With the release of Masket came the most powerful magic weapon in Oldschool Runescape, the Tumeken Shadow. The Tumeken Shadow triples your magic accuracy and magic damage, which is why it is so powerful. The weapon being as good as it is makes obtaining one quite expensive. Starting with no gold in my bank, my goal is to earn enough GP to purchase the Tumeken Shadow and take on one of RuneScape's newest and more difficult challenge, a 500 invocation completion. Here is 0 GP to Tumeken Shadow. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of 0 GP to Tumeken Shadow. If you're enjoying this series so far, feel free to subscribe. Only 15% of you guys watching are subscribed. It's free and it's the best way you can show support for the series. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with the video. In the last episode, we got our bank value up to 100 mil, and it looks like it went down just a little bit, down to 99.9 mil. But in this episode, we are going to be focusing on actually unlocking a few money makers, rather than strictly making money ourselves. We will still be making money in this episode. In fact, we should be making quite a bit of money, but we are going to be focusing on unlocking different methods. First things first, I am one of those people who need an extremely organized bank in order to function, and for some of you guys this might look like an extremely organized bank. For me, I need it to be quite a bit more organized, and so that is what I'm going to start with. Now that I have a decent cash stack at 58 mil, I'm probably going to spend a decent bit of it just for items that I want in my bank that are going to be pretty useful, and the items I currently have, I'll try to organize them into tabs. So let's go ahead and get through all of that. After buying a few placeholders and organizing the bank, I think it's in a state where I can function decently well, and I'll just go ahead and show all the tabs to you guys. I still have a 49 mil cash stack, and then here's our combat tab. Went ahead and bought full Varrocks and Guthans as I feel like can be very useful in the future, and I just tried to get what best combat gear I can afford. Here's like my budget combat gear, not much here. Over time though, this will definitely fill up. Here is my food and potion tab. I had to buy a placeholder in Butte Heart, so I lost a little bit of money there. Here are my ruins plus cannon tab and whatever else you want to call it. Here's my teleport and achievement diary tab, and here's my skilling tab, where I did also buy a bottomless bucket, and I spent a decent amount of GP on a dragon pickaxe. Now that I actually have a bank, let's get into money making. I want to briefly touch up on birdhouse runs and herb runs. I saw this suggestion left in the comments, so I went ahead and bought enough seeds. Unfortunately, they do take a little bit to buy out, so I'll have to wait 4 hours there. And I bought enough logs to do 100 birdhouse runs and 100 herb runs. This will take a decent bit of time. I definitely will not be completed in this episode, but whenever I do finish doing 100 birdhouse runs and 100 herb runs, I'll go ahead and sell that off and show you how much I made within that time. Next up, I want to focus on buying battle staffs from Zaf. If you have the elite Varrock diary, you can buy 120 per day. I can only buy 60 per day until I get that done, so let's actually just go ahead and get the elite Varrock diary done. So fortunately for me, I actually have all the requirements to get it done. As you can see here, there's nothing I'm missing, so yeah, we can actually just get it done and unlock that. This should be the last achievement that I have to do. Let's go ahead and fletch ourselves some dart tips and then use some feathers on that. And there we go, that is the entire elite Varrock completed. We go ahead and talk to Toby here. We should get ourselves a very nice plate body. I believe this replaces the Prospector torso, so that's very nice. It also has a lot of other good effects. But I don't really care about the effects, I'm here for the battle staffs. Now if we go ahead and try to buy battle staffs, we should be able to buy 120 instead of the 60 previous, making double the amount per day. If you're curious to the amount of money that you make on battle staffs per day, it ends up being around 80k, which may not sound like a lot, but keep in mind it takes me a few seconds and it can be done daily, so that is actually pretty decent. As for the antique lamp, which is 50k XP, I'm going to go ahead and throw that onto agility, which is going to tie into our next goal. The next moneymaker I want to unlock is the Hollowed Sepulchre Floor 5. Doing Hollowed Sepulchre Floor 5 gives you a chance to earn the Ring of Endurance, which is worth about 30 mil at the moment, so that would be a lot of money made if I'm able to do that. Unfortunately, it is 92 agility, and I'm currently only 80 agility, so that's just not going to be unlocked for this episode. However, I think what a good goal for this episode would be is 82 agility. That's still a decent build agility I'll have to do, and then what I'll do is in future episodes, I'll probably try to get at least 1 agility per episode, and eventually I'll be able to do the Hollowed Sepulchre as a money-making method. Here is 81 agility. Here is 82 agility. You know what that means? We have now unlocked the Hollowed Sepulchre Floor 4, which like I said, I am not going to be doing, at least for now. Maybe I'll start doing some Hollowed Sepulchre Floor 4 in preparation for Floor 5, and that does mean I'm 10 levels away from Floor 5, so I'm quite a bit away, but in future episodes, like I did mention, we will be working towards that. We also ended up getting over 60 crystal shards from this agility run. That's actually not too bad. It's like a 1 in 3 chance every time you do a course to get a crystal shard, and these can be turned straight into towards money, or it can be saving my crystal shards if I do eventually want to buy myself a Barrel Ferrodon and full crystal armor. Haven't made that decision yet, but it's very nice to stack them up nonetheless. Now that we have the farm runs and birdhouse runs rolling, we get 120 battle staffs per day, and we unlocked floor 4 of the Hollow Sepulchre, and we'll be working towards floor 5 in future episodes. It is time to work on unlocking the last moneymaker I want to in this video. Honestly, the best moneymaker in the game, or at least the best consistent moneymaker in the game, that is going to be the Alchemical Hydra. In the last episode, we got ourselves 94 Slayer, and we even went a little bit past it, and we are only 650k to 95. That is still a decent bit of Slayer left, but I have no problem getting that done in this episode. We ended our last video on a Hellhound task. We still have 174 more of them to go. I think I want to put a fun challenge on myself for this remaining 650k Slayer XP. I once again saw this suggestion in the comments, and what I think I want to do is every task that I get that I can possibly do a boss task, I'm going to go ahead and do. Now Hellhounds I would have normally done Cerberus anyway, so I'm not really doing much here, but for example, if I get a Cow Fight task, I'll do KQ. If I get a Blue Dragon task, I'll do Vorkath. If I get a Great Demon task, I'll do Zami, so on and so forth. Any task that can be a boss task will be a boss task. With the money we made in our last episode, we can afford a decent few upgrades for Cerberus. I bought the Amulet of Torture because it's quite a bit more accurate and a little bit more strength bonus. The same with the Tacits, a little bit more strength bonus and actually a decent amount of defense bonus. And the Zamorak Costa has some defense and prayer bonus, and it's actually slightly worse DPS than the Bludgeon, but it can also train attack and defense, which are skills that I don't have 99, and since my strength level is already 99, I think I want to use it. With all of the upgrades we've been getting, we're slowly but surely starting to look like Chads. Let's see if Cerberus has any crystals left for me. I'm not sure if he does since we got so many in the last episode, but Zora kept giving in the last episode as well, even though we got very lucky in episode 2, so maybe Cerberus will keep giving here. No way, we actually got a second Primordial Crystal very early on in the task. Cerberus, you shouldn't have. Wow, I actually did not expect that at all. I'm actually speechless. I don't know what to say about that, but wow. Like, I think wow is the only thing I need to say. I still can't believe I got myself a Primordial Crystal. That is absolutely amazing. And I think I'm going to do what I did in the last episode. Just go ahead and use it as a gear upgrade since I'm already killing Cerberus and it is literally just a significant gear upgrade. Let's just go ahead and make myself Primordial Boots. A little bit of runecrafting XP helps. And if I looked like a Chad before, this is like a Giga Chad. That is absolutely amazing. Well, we got ourselves a elite clue scroll, first clue scroll of the video. I just got myself an emote clue and I was thinking about what to do with the stash units, and I think the best way of approaching it is just whenever I get an emote clue, just build the stash unit there and then I'll permanently be there instead of just buying them all at once and then making them, because I'd have to go all the way around Gillinor and it just seems like a waste of time, so I'll just do them as I get them. We got ourselves the elite casket. I saw this suggestion in the comments and I think what I want to do with clue scrolls is just open them all at the end of the video. So I'll just save this till the end, and if I get any more hard or elite clues, or any clues for that matter, I will just save them for the end. And a few kills later, after my first elite clue scroll, we got another one. And we just got our third elite in like 20 kills. I guess we'll take that. Okay, this is pretty funny. It's not worth a lot of money, but I had to kill a basilisk for an elite clue step, and the one kill that I do, I actually got a Mystic Hat Light on the collection log. I think it's like a 1 in 512, so again, not really worth anything. I just thought it was funny. Nothing too special here unless we get lucky. Unfortunately, we did not, but that is kill number 1000. Not all of them were done within this series, but 1000, that's a pretty cool milestone. And there is the final kill of the Cerberus task. We did get ourselves a Primordial Crystal. I was going to say, unfortunately, we didn't get anything else, but I can't really complain. That's the best drop I can get. Very, very happy about it. Well, I think this technically counts as a boss task. I will choose Jad instead of Zuck because I don't feel like I quite have enough gear for Zuck at the moment, but in the future, I actually wouldn't mind doing a little bit of Zuck. Unfortunately, I'd like to pick up an Anguish and an Archer Ring for this Jad task, so once again, the Primordial Boots will have to go. And there is the Jad task complete. I always like Jad tasks because they give you so much Slayer XP in such a short amount of time. Our next task is 216 gargoyles, and normally I would just kill the little ones, but gargoyles do actually have a boss, so I'll be doing that. And I also have gargoyles extended 216, so this is going to take a decent amount of time, but the XP per kill is actually pretty decent. I think you get like 1.4k XP per kill, so this should be about 300k XP, something like that. It's going to be pretty nice. First time doing Grotesque Guardians in a while, and we already got ourselves a personal best. I imagine we're going to get quite a few of those. Well, apparently I got a Grotesque Guardian speed trialist because of how fast I did the kill. Really not that fast, I'll definitely get a lot better PVs. There's the Grotesque Guardian Adept challenge completed. Hey, there is 97 range from Gargoyle, struggling a little bit here, but that is very nice. We got 99 magic and 99 strength in the last episode, and now I guess we're working towards 99 range. There is another Grotesque Guardian speed task completed, the Speed Chaser. Here's the combat achievement for 50 KC at Grotesque Guardians. Hey, there's a unique from the Grotesque Guardians, the Granite Hammer. Fun fact, you can actually smash the Grotesque Guardians with a Granite Hammer instead of a Rock Hammer. So maybe I'll start doing that. Very cool unique, not really worth much, only 100k, but it's still cool to get. And the kill after I got the Granite Hammer, we get ourselves an Elite Clue Scroll, a little bit of break from the Grotesque Guardians. Hey, there is another unique from the Grotesque Guardians. Granite Gloves. Again, Grotesque Guardian uniques aren't worth a lot, I guess, unless you get the Tourmaline Core, but it's still cool to fill out the collection log. There is the Granite Ring. I think that is all the Grotesque Guardian uniques except for the Pet and the Tourmaline Core. However, they are all pretty common except for the Pet and the Tourmaline Core. We do have quite a few left, 138, so hopefully we can get the Tourmaline Core and maybe even the Pet. Perfect Grotesque Guardian. I'm not sure how I haven't gotten that yet, but we'll take that. Actually, I think that's getting 5 in a row perfect, so yeah, we'll take that. And we get another elite clue right after we got that combat achievement. Oh, we got ourselves a second Granite Hammer. Again, not really worth much, but I guess it's worth more than your average loot from the Grotesque Guardians. We'll take it. There is 93 attack from this Slayer task. We got 97 range earlier in this task, so it's pretty cool getting 2 levels in a single task, though this is a very long task. Well, there is another pair of Granite Gloves as well. And there is our third pair of Granite Gloves. And I guess we're getting our third Granite Hammer as well. I guess best of things come in threes. And that's the drop I was missing. The Black Tourmaline Core. Very close to finish with the task, only 4 left. We will take that. An extra 2 mil added to the bank, and that's basically the Grotesque Guardians completed, except for the Jar, which is a 1 in 5k, and the Pet, which I believe is a 1 in 3k. So I don't think I'll ever get one of those, but very nice to get the Black Tourmaline Core. And there is the entire task completed. It says I only gained 209k XP, but I definitely gained around 300k because I got like 1.5k per kill. Very, very happy to get this task done. This took me like 10 hours to complete, so it really puts into perspective how long these videos take. Now we are only 150k away from 95 Slayer, so let's see what our next task is going to be. Our next task ended up being another worm task, and we got ourselves another hard clue. After the worms, we got ourselves an Aberrant Inspector task with another hard clue. Kills after our first hard clue scroll, we already got ourselves a second. After that Aberrant Spectre task, it looks like we're going back to the Jad. We're only 100k away from 95 Slayer, so we're really getting close now. There is another Jad task completed, another 25k Slayer XP, we'll take that. Well, it looks like we are finishing off this 95 Slayer at Ye Olde Faithful Cerberus. I really would have liked to do some other boss tasks, but Cerberus is a very high weighted task at Duradel, so it is what it is, 137 Hellhounds. I really don't mind doing some more Cerberus though. And there it is, 95 Slayer. That means I can finally kill the Alchemical Hydra, a boss that I've actually never killed in Oldschool Runescape. Wow, that is actually amazing. I'm super excited about that. I'm very, very anxious to actually try the Hydra, but unfortunately, that is all I have really time for in this episode, so I'll be doing Hydra in the future, but not in this episode. I mentioned previously in the video I'd like to save all of my caskets for the end of the episode. In this episode, I got 5 elite caskets, 4 hard caskets, and 1 beginner casket just from doing a birdhouse run. So we'll start with the beginner and see if we get anything from that. That's about what you should expect, so let's open a few hard clues now. 105k, not too bad. 66k. 241k with Morton teleports being unlocked. I will absolutely take that. And our last casket, 70k. So nothing too special there, but let's get into our elite caskets. For the elite caskets, we have ourselves 91k, 209k plus a master clue scroll. Very curious if I'm actually able to do this. I will definitely attempt it. I did manage to complete the master clue. Unfortunately, I had to buy myself a crystal bow, so I lost about a mil there. Let's go ahead and finish opening the elites and we'll get to the master. 2 more elites to go. And our final elite clue scroll. Unfortunately, nothing special there, but maybe the master has something. We got a collection log slot. I got a little excited there for a second, but only the Peaceful Blessing. 358k though, that is not too bad, and that was actually our first master on the account, so you got to be pretty happy about that. Next up, I want to go ahead and show you guys the loot tracker and the loot tab from Slayer in this episode. We'll go ahead and show you the loot tracker first. We have the clue scrolls up there first, and then as we scroll down, as you see, we got very lucky at Cerberus to get the Primordial Crystal, and then the biggest one was the Dusk. We had a lot of kills there, ended up making a decent bit of money. As you can see, 16.4 mil in the loot tab, and that does not include the Primordial Crystal, which we got early on in this episode. And if we go to our total bank, we are now up to 140 mil bank. However, I do want this to be a bit more accurate, so let's go ahead and sell off the loot tab and see what we get from that. After selling off the loot tab, we are left with 16.4 mil, so it looks like that was pretty accurate. And if we throw that into the bank, as you can see, like I said, pretty accurate. 140 mil ending this episode off. Not too bad considering we started with 99 mil, so we made a total of 41 mil in this episode. Thank you guys for watching. We've unlocked a lot in this episode, getting birdhouse runs and herb runs rolling, unlocking 120 battle staffs per day, getting a start on the Hollowed Sepulchre grind up to 82 agility, and finally unlocking the most consistent moneymaker in game, the Alchemical Hydra, which we'll be doing in a future episode. In the next episode, I've seen a lot of you guys suggest getting started with raids, and that's exactly what I want to do, but I'm not exactly sure which raid to start with, and that's where I'm leaving it to the viewers to decide. In the comments, I'll have a pinned poll asking which raid I should start with, the Chambers of Xerix, the Theater of Blood, or the Tombs of Casket, and whatever wins I'll be doing in the next episode. While you're there, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Have a great day, and I'll hopefully see you in another episode very soon.